Racism was always an integral part of Churchill's political makeup. He made no bones about it. He didn't. He was completely open and shameless about it. Unlike some of his colleagues in all the three parties who preferred to wear a mask. So some kind of hid it behind a mask. He viewed Arabs as an inferior race compared to Europeans of any stripe. In the case of Palestine, he accused the Arabs of behaving like, quote, a dog in the manger, a view he spelled out in his evidence to the Peel Commission, set up in 1936 to report on the Palestinian uprising then in motion and which had paralyzed the country. So this is actually a very famous paragraph I'm now going to read. Very, very offensive then and now. But it tells us a lot about the British government's attitude, Churchill's attitude to Palestine, Zionism, Israel, Arabs, other races, non-whites. It tells us a lot. And this is the dominant view in his time. He wrote, quote, I do not agree that the dog in the manger has the final right to the manger, even though he may have lain there for a very long time. So even though, to decode it, even though the Palestinians may have lived there for millennia, they have no right to it just because they've been living there, just because it's their land. They have no right to it, in his view. I do not admit that right, he says. I do not admit, for instance, that a great wrong has been done to the Red Indians of America or the Black people of Australia. I do not admit that a wrong has been done to these people by the fact that a stronger race, a higher grade race, or at any rate, a more worldly wise race, to put it that way, has come in and taken their place. End quote. This is the voice of white supremacy, a view that was reiterated, interestingly, with remarkable clarity by Israel's foremost revisionist historian, the former paratrooper Benny Morris, over half a century later. Churchill would have been delighted by such a display of candor, which admitted, this historian admitted,